everybody. Happy Friday, April 15th, 2022. It's your host, Joe. Welcome to another episode of Daily News. Let's get right into the news over here. Okay, so today's first story here, we have Biden's mental state continues to decline on the world stage. Okay, Biden shakes hand with thin air after North Carolina's speech. Biden 79. Okay, so we're sourcing this from the New York Post over here. Biden 79 has just finished delivering a nearly 40-minute speech at the North Carolina Architectural and Technical State University at Greensboro. When he turned to the stage to the right, to the awestruck crowd, he went out and he pretty much shook. So here's a picture right here. Just put out his hand, and he stood there for a couple seconds. I can't wait to see what they're going to say. Their excuse is for this, but the thing is this is, and why I say Biden continues to show his mental decline on the world stage. This is the world stage. Every time we see this, the world is seeing this, guys. This is very important, especially with we have some very, very. In our day and age. I don't know. This just feels like one of the most important times it's ever crest us on just all humankind right now. And we have a president in place that just doesn't. He just seems like he's slipping. He is. It's what's going to be what's the next thing he's going to do? What's the next fumble he's going to make? And what's the next cost? You know what I'm saying? This is what we have to consider and take into serious regards as this continues. As this continues to be played out on the world stage, guys. This is us. He is the how do I say this? He is the he is what we represent. He is our representation of us. And if he's going around being Mr. Magoo shaking ghost hands on stage, that doesn't look good for us. But let's get into the next story here, guys. And this is another funny one. This goes to this, pretty much connects. This is a good segue into just what this administration feels like. They just don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's like the professionals are not in the building right now. It just feels like a bunch of goofball alcoholics, honestly, are there trying to run things right now. They don't know what they're doing. We have, what do we say here? Why does the White House seem to hate Peter Doocy so much? Psaki says Peter's question makes him sound like a stupid SOB. Psaki, that's not very nice of you, Psaki. I tell you, this woman over here, boy, she's just something about her, man. Just slimy. I don't know, man. That poor Peter Doocy dude, that Fox reporter. He's a sharp kid. He's always on it. He's got the brass to ask the questions, man. And and even we're gonna read in this story how that connects to even how he displays his character too. When Joe Biden, because even Joe Biden, this wasn't too recently, and that's part of this too. When Joe Biden hot mic'd calling Peter Doocy an SOB when Peter Doocy asked about inflation. Psaki even says it here when Doocy was talking to Hannity. Doocy, accepting the phone call from Biden on Hannity, just simply said, me and Biden had a nice conversation, and he apologized for that, and I left it at that. Doocy didn't go off to badmouth Biden, didn't go off to say anything else. He just left it at that. Professional. But now you got Psaki over here, again, just demonstrating the character of the establishment. It's just not good. These are not professionals. These are not professional people. At least the professional manner is what we should have as a representation as our presidential leadership. This isn't it, guys. This isn't it. So during a taping of the podcast Pod Save America, Psaki was asked if Mr. Doocy was a stupid SOB, or if he just acted like it on TV while sparring with press secretary. He works for a network that, this is Psaki now, he works for a network that provides people with questions that nothing personal or anything individual. Peter Doocy might make anyone sound like a stupid SOB, she said. Let me hear that again. He works for a network that provides people with questions that nothing personal to any individual. She's probably just saying that she doesn't like his questioning. She's just saying that because he asks tough questions, it's all, it makes him sound like an SOB. But you know what? Hey, he asks the tough questions. I see him out there. And again, here we go. So yeah, President Biden was caught hot micing, calling Doocy a SOB again after his question about inflation. Then we get down here, but on Hannity, when Doocy was on Hannity, he was asked, President, what he said back, and he could been like he's a SOB, but I'm standing up for whatever he could have said, anything. Instead, he said, he called me. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like to read this verbatim like this. Pretty much, just asked the question. Psaki said, grace. So I'll say that with grace, and you don't have to like anything Peter Doocy says, but was certainly a moment of grace. She's just pretty much stating that when Doocy was questioned on Hannity about the conversation that him and Biden had after their phone call, that Doocy acted with grace with his response, saying that, me and the president had a conversation and it went well, and he apologized, and that was the end of it. So she even remarks on the character of Doocy, saying that he acted with grace. But then she, on the other hand, goes on to say that, just because of his questionings and stuff like that, that he it makes him sound like a stupid SOB. I mean, that goes right there for the professional. I mean, they're even, now she's being looked at with ethical questions with her dealings with MSNBC right now, with her trying to jump ship over to being a media host, while she's still press secretary. Like, I mean, I'll leave it there for now. Let's get into the next story. So what do we got here? Twitter is trying everything they can to avert the Elon Musk takeover. All right. So we have here from Forbes. So Twitter boards adopt the poison pill to fend off Elon Musk takeover. Top line. Twitter announces Friday that it has decided to adopt a limited duration shareholders' right plan known as a poison pill as response to Elon Musk's $43 billion acquisition offered earlier this week. So let's read what this poison pill act, I guess you want to call it. Let's read what Forbes pretty much gives us some key facts on it. So it pretty much states Twitter's boards of directors voted anonymously. Sure, they voted anonymously. They're all pooping their pants right now. To adopt the shareholders' right plan, often called a poison pill, which commonly uses to fend off a hostile takeover during takeover by diluted shares. Diluted shares. Under the new plan, if any shareholder acquires more than 15% stake of Twitter without the board's approval, often other shareholders will be allowed to add to their stake at a discount price. Ooh, I see what they're trying to do. The plan, which is similar to other plans adopted by publicly held companies in comparison to circumstances, expires April 14th. So they have a year. So they got a whole year to enact this. The board did not note that the poison pill would not prevent it from accepting future acquisition offers. However, as long as it's deemed to be in the best interest of Twitter, it's shield the shareholders. So I'm guessing they're trying to obviously this is to prevent Elon Musk from purchasing Twitter. Now, though, under the plan, any stakeholder that acquires more than 50% of the stakes in Twitter without board approval. Now, what is it? He owns only 9, I think it's like, what, 9.2%? So he doesn't own the 15%. I could be wrong on that. Somebody could correct me on that. So I don't know if this would prevent them then, but it could still. I mean, obviously they're trying to do everything they can to prevent this from happening. Are they going to be successful? They might be successful at it. But what it's showing how important this is. How important Twitter is to the establishment, to the narrative. And this is going to segue into our next story, where we have an MSNBC reporter, pretty much, and we'll segue right into it right now. You guys can watch the video. She is warning the public of the global consequences that we're going to suffer if Elon Musk is successful at purchasing Twitter. Now, with what Twitter is trying to do with trying to prevent this, and what the big global media is trying to put the narrative twist on this, is they're trying everything they can to protect Twitter as it stands. Whatever Twitter is right now, whatever their underlying I guess narrative or plan is, they're trying to protect that. And Elon Musk, this should all be a breath of a breath of fresh air, I guess I'm trying to say at least we have somebody on our side, and that's Elon Musk. Because if they're so scared of Elon Musk doing this, then he's not on their side. We could all have our questions about Elon Musk's motives, but at least we should be able to sit easy thinking that at least he's trying to screw with them. In either way, anybody who's trying to screw with them is on our side. So, so let's get into it. So we have MSNBC host Katie Tur warns that there are massive life and global altering consequences for letting people run wild on Twitter. The links to all my sources are always in the comments, guys. So make sure if you guys want to watch the video, go right ahead. But inside this, in the video, she's pretty much stating that how it is dangerous to let anybody just say whatever they want on Twitter. Wow. See, the thing is they've been lying on Twitter for the last, since forever. Obviously, since the last 2 or 3 years now, they've been lying to us and banning those who are trying to actually spread the truth. They've been banning those who have been trying to spread the truth, and they've been lifting up those that are spreading the lies. So if you're so afraid of anybody willy-nilly just saying whatever they want on this platform, why then are you so obviously okay with people spreading blatant lies on there, and people that are trying to bring the truth on there are being extinguished, being banned, being kicked off the platform? I don't understand why you're so afraid. What is the fear? I mean, yes, I agree that some things just don't belong on the platform, i.e. pornographic material, but everything else, though, we should have a platform on where we can speak our minds. Ideas don't become dangerous until they're pushed into a corner. Okay? That's when ideas get dangerous, because that's when they fester. And then that's when they leach onto other things, and then it becomes a problem. Okay? I'll leave that there for now. Let's get into our last story here. Now, this this last story, this is a continuing mess, guys. And continuing mess, and this should be a reminder to us, again, us as Americans, to be so so blessed to be Americans, guys. Because I tell you what, I would not want to be a resident in China, especially in Shanghai right now. They are getting their shit kicked out of them. Now, I know there's tragedies going on all across the world right now. But this right now just stands out as this is just disgusting, guys. Because this is their own government doing this to them. This zero COVID, this zero madness is, they are, and you guys, again, watch the video, guys. The links to all this is going to be in the comments, not in the comments, in the description and stuff like that. And I usually post all these. I post them all out individually, anyways, on all the other social media platforms, so you guys can find this anywhere. You guys watch these videos, guys. It's just disgusting, guys. It irks me. Look, I mean, you can take a look at this picture here. I mean, this is how we kill the coof, huh? This is how we fight it, by putting signs on top of old people and holding them down and beating the ever-loving piss out of them as they're starving. Because it says it in here. A lot of them are starving. So, yeah, so what are theirs? Their cases have surpassed 25,000 in recent days. I mean, it's going to spread like wildfire. It always has. Well, whatever test you're using, I mean, could the test be wrong too? Who knows, guys? But what you're doing is completely wrong. They've been under lockdown since the 28th. April 3rd. Yeah, so social media has been flooded with complaints about food shortages. And they're calling them protests. Well, if your people are starving, don't call it a rebellion. Because those people, they're dying. They are freaking dying. You're starving them right now just to keep this zero coof madness under control. So yeah, they have been they have ripped into authorities for allowing food shortages as well as heavy-handed controls, including killing pets. Oh my goodness. Corgis by health workers. You're killing these people's pets. You're starving them. And you're confining them in. And then you wonder why. I mean, and this isn't a human rights tragedy, right? One unverified viral video, a drone. So this is that viral video of the drone flying around saying, "Control your soul's desire for freedom. Control that thing. Control that desire for freedom. You sick individuals. Why should you be free?" Oh my goodness, guys. God bless America, I tell you. Because I tell you what. This wouldn't happen here. This wouldn't happen here. Yet authorities have vowed the cities would not relax in the slightest, preparing over 100 new quarantine facilities to receive every person who tests positive. So they're not even backing down from this. No, they're saying, we're going to ramp it up. We're going to squash this coof out, people. Now you're going to squash your people out. And you're going to kill your people. That's it. That's what this is, guys. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Awful. But that's the news for today, guys. All right, guys. Make sure you guys like, share, follow these videos. Again, I'm on YouTube. I'm on Rumble. Catch me on Minds. Catch me on Twitter too, as long as it stays up. That's all I got for you guys. Until next time, guys. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there, and hope you guys all the best. Thank you very much, guys.